This is a Thor News presentation.
Thor News presents Syria and the Price of War Addiction. It would appear that our politicians have become addicted to war. With military interventions in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, and Syria up next, with Iran waiting on deck, Syria seems to be a trap. Nothing good or positive is going to come from us intervening. I think this meme describes the situation best. Yo, dog, we heard Syria bombed Syria, so we're going to bomb Syria for bombing Syria. That is how absurd yet real this whole situation is. This thing totally could end up a major shitstorm. And technically, it's already a shitstorm. And if that description doesn't work best for you, the talking points out of both sides of Congress seem to be that Obama drew an imaginary red line, Assad crossed that imaginary red line, and as much as we hate to get involved in a civil war and help Al-Qaeda, we now have no choice because we have to maintain our reputation. And even though the population is against it, it's affecting our soldiers' morale, and we really can't afford it. Plus, it could trigger a larger war in the region and even possibly World War III. Congress seems to be moving full steam ahead. And somehow, John McCain is always the face of war. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Insert Middle Eastern country name here. So, why don't we take a look at the price we are literally paying to enable their war addiction? Okay, for context and reference, let's take a look at it. In 1989, the national debt was $2.9 trillion. 11 years later, the national debt was $5.6 trillion. So in those 11 years, the debt hadn't even doubled. And in that span, life was good, peace ruled the day, gas was stable during the whole time at $1, and the dollar went a whole lot farther than it did today. Now let's take a look at 2001 after 9/11 happened. We got involved in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, and during that time, the debt went from $5.9 trillion to $16.4 trillion. And now we got to be fair and honest here. So if you look at it today, in a little over 11 years, the national debt is $16.9 trillion. That's not the whole story, folks. To combat the financial crisis of 2008, the Federal Reserve has spent $3.6 trillion. So you have to put that on the balance sheet, which means that now the actual debt on the books is $20.5 trillion plus. So in the time of our political people's war addiction, we have seen the national debt quadruple, go from 5.9 trillion to 20.5 trillion by fighting the war on terror, by trying to police the world. We just can't afford it, man. How much of our own country's prosperity are y'all going to sacrifice to play these games? And how are we going to put an end to war if you guys are so gung-ho for war? Hey, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but if you also check during the same amount of time, 2001 to now, corporate profits and the price of gas and oil seem to totally mirror the growth of our national debt. So by being addicted to war, our politicians get their jollies, corporations get record profits, oil companies get record profits, and we Americans get put under more surveillance, get burdened with more laws, and are given more debt than we will ever be able to handle. These are crazy times, people. I'll tell you, from 2001 till now, in the period where our national debt has quadrupled, fighting the war on terror, this last decade has kind of sucked, bro. Everybody's been mad, divided and conquered, pissed off at everybody, and the people have become powerless. Well, God bless everybody. I just thought I'd show you guys the score. I hope I don't get in trouble for posting this or have some strange accident. I sure as hell don't want to be the canary in the coal mine. Anyway, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Everything's gotten so crazy. Doesn't matter what the people say. They do what they want, when they want, how they want. All right, God bless.